Howdy, y'all. I am going to tell you a story today. I want to tell you a story. See my table there. My story. My story is that I won on a giveaway, and this was on um, Joe Durbin's auction site. And his wife Diane, I go to their auctions a couple times a week and buy things, mostly because Joe lives north of me, up toward the Kanakistan border, and he can get some Canadian coins that I can't get most often from other people. I don't have an LCS close to me. What the hell is that? Oh man, that's a pin. I don't know where that came from, but we'll put it on a towel here. He lives up north of me, close to Canada. He can get some Canadian coins. I collect Canadian coins, some foreign stuff, but mostly Canadian. And so I go to his auctions quite a little. He and his wife, Diane, are a couple of great people, man. Just the auctions are fantastic. I like how they're run. I like the people that are there. I like the coins that he has. Just great people, man. Just great people. And I happened to get a Goooo, a giveaway, after one of his auctions, and it was a copper bell and a copper rose made by Mr. Doughboy and Susie. If you don't know who Doughboy and Susie are, you need to go to Durbin's auctions, and you will find out after a while who they are. Mr. Doughboy made me a copper bell and a copper rose. They're made out of pennies. And I asked my daughter, my middle daughter, who was home, what I should give my wife for Mother's Day. And I gave her a couple options, and I showed her those, and she said, "Oh, those definitely." So I gave her those, and my wife gave me a little compliment day after Mother's Day, or that afternoon, because her and my daughters were going to. That's why it was that afternoon, because her and my daughters were going to Rochester to go see a play. And when they got home, she gave me a little compliment and told me how nice that Mother's Day gift was. And she has these little knickknack shelves all over the place where she puts little knickknacks, little bottles we find in the ground that we clean up, some rocks, little spoon from a certain state, a little this or a little that, little knickknack shelves. And so she kept the rose, but she put the bell up on a knickknack shelf, which I don't know what, the rose went into her room. I don't know where she put it, but she has a little chest of stuff. Anyway, that was my story. I thought that was excellent, man. A little something that I won on a giveaway that my wife really liked. I think she'll treasure that little copper rose. Anyway, I missed a couple of auctions because I was outside, and I'll miss some more because as this ankle becomes better and better, because last September I had ankle surgery, had it fused. So for 6 months I was sitting in front of the computer. I wasn't doing anything but buying coins and going to coin sites. And that's when I found Durbin Auctions. And I found a couple other sites, some that I like, some I don't like, whatever. And now that I'm healed up and I'm walking again, I have to get my muscles in my legs and my knees, my joints are all messed up. Your muscles get weak from inactivity. And I'm going on 68 years old, so it's not like when you're 30 or 40, you can just bounce right back from that kind of surgery. It just doesn't happen. So I've been out splitting wood and running around, mailing stuff and walking around outside. At first, it was, knee scooter. Then it was uh, a walker. Then it was crutches with no weight bearing on that leg. Then it was crutches with a little weight bearing. Then it was weight bearing on that leg with the crutches. Then walking with a cane. Then walking with no cane. And all the time having that boot on your foot, up your leg. That hard boot. And finally, no boot. And then you could walk by putting all your weight on. I had my final surgeon's visit yesterday. My surgeon said I have graduated. I now have my cap and diploma. I no longer have to see her anymore. And I almost felt like I had got out of the Army. And I thanked her. She's a great surgeon, a great ankle surgeon. She specializes, yeah, okay. But it's like the surgeon I had when I had my diverticulitis, and I had abscess on the side of my intestine, and that had to be drained, and part of my intestine had to come out. That surgeon, she's a chief medical surgeon down at Floyd County Hospital in Charles City. She did the surgery, and I appreciate her too. She really great. I don't know why it is, but I had two great female surgeons right in a row. Can't say enough good things about either one of them. Did a good job. And that surgery I had done on my colon was just done a year before I had this surgery done on my ankle. So I bounced back from that one really quick. Yeah, there are some side effects to it, but you know what? Not bad. I can live with it. What do I got? Another 20 years anyway. So if that, I consider that my max. So people can bitch all they want about the medical establishment, and the medical establishment is great. There are good doctors and nurses out there. My neighbor is the head nurse at Mitchell County Regional Health Center. And she's been present every time I've had a colonoscopy done. Great gal. So I can't, as far as, and my personal doctor is a male, young guy. I had an old guy who retired, and then I got this young guy. I was really leery of him. But after a couple of visits now, he seems like he's got his stuff together, and he's pretty good. So I have faith in the medical system and the medical professionals that are being put out there. I just don't have faith in the insurance industry. The insurance industry is a scam, man. They are ripping us off. They're ripping hospitals off. The only reason that you're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of bills from the hospitals is because they know the insurance companies will pay them. The insurance companies are paying them because they're getting kickbacks from the drug manufacturers, from pharmaceutical companies. So, and doctors are being paid to push the pills. So when you go and have a procedure done, or you go and are told that you have to have this done, get a second opinion, get a third opinion. Go around and check who accepts your insurance, who doesn't accept your insurance. I'm kind of lucky because I have Medicare right now. That's my primary. I have Medicare A and B. But I have TRICARE for Life as my secondary insurance. And TRICARE for Life, if people don't know it, is something that military retirees get, TRICARE. But then TRICARE for Life is after 65. It no longer costs you. You get it free. And it is used as your secondary insurance then. Medicare is going to be your primary. By law, it has to be, I believe. government insurance. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's working, but, and TRICARE for Life was my secondary. So I don't, I haven't paid a dime out of pocket, man. Either surgery, I don't pay a dime out of pocket for my medications. Oh yes, I do. I do pay for some medications out of pocket. Yep, I have to retract that statement and correct it. I do pay for some medications out of pocket. All right, that was my story. My second story is a shout out, and it's a I did my mail opening yesterday. I tried to do a live yesterday. Hi, David, Gregory, how are you guys? Thanks, man. Hit the like button. Thank you. My second story is yesterday I tried to do a live, but my camera wasn't working. It just showed black for some reason. It would not come on. The mic was working. I could see the light on it was working, but my camera just showed black. And I could not. I tried 3 times to do a video, and it would not let me do a video. Would not let me do live. It wouldn't do anything. So I just quit. And I was pissing around here on my desk, and I managed to tip over my coffee cup again, like I do. That's why I have this keyboard now, because the last keyboard I dumped coffee on. But anyway, there was a pool of coffee on my desk here, and my mouse was sitting in my pool of coffee. And you can see my my cursor right now is moving. I don't know if you can see it on your picture, but yesterday it wouldn't move at all. I couldn't do anything. I took the mouse apart as far as I could. I shook it out. I dried it off. You know, how much coffee can get up into a mouse if it's just sitting into, a pool of coffee, flat pool of coffee? I don't know. I couldn't get anything to work. So last night I was just on my phone on the internet. And what I did was I took my mouse and I put it in here's what I have sitting around here. I have a container and I have a bag of rice here. Sits in this container like this. And what I'll do is I'll take whatever is drenched in a liquid and I'll dry it off as much as I can. It's not working. Yep. I've done it with my phone a few times. And I cover it up in rice. I put it in rice. So I put my mouse, and you can see my mouse has still got the dust on from the leave site cancel. The dust on from the rice. Took it out of rice this morning. Working fine. Working fine. So whatever moisture was in there got sucked up by the rice, and it's out of there. Went to go do a live this morning just to try it, and here we are. The camera's working. I don't understand. All right, now my shout out. That was my other little story. Now my shout out. You guys see these 2 little bells on the table? I got my package from Brad V yesterday. I don't know. I got an ASE from him. I won, and I got my package from John Wolf. I bought a trade or won a trade unit on one of his races. Okay, and I got from Durban Auction. I got. Let me see how many auctions was this. 2 auctions right here. Sent a package for 2 auctions. I got a Canada 80% silver commemorative half. That was a Howling Wolf. I got that, and I got a bell. And then on the other auction, I got a 67 Canada 80% commemorative dollar. Was my Flying Goose, which I told him I'd like to see more of those. They don't have enough of those. I have a lot of Voyagers. I think I have 10 or 12 Canadian dollars, 80% dollars, um, are the two voyagers in a canoe paddling. Uh, I think I got 10 or 12 of those. Not sure. But I've only got 2 or 3 of the single goose flying. Um, I think that's a beautiful coin. I think that's probably one of the simplest and nicest coins the Canadian mint ever put out. The Voyager would be the second. The goose is the first. Anyway, on those two auctions, I managed to buy, and I've been trying to get one for a while. Is one of Joe Durbin's bells, and it come in this nice, very nice black kind of velvet drawstring container case. You guys see that? Nice little case. Real nice. And the drawstrings on it. I'll close it right up. You guys, and I don't know who's watching my videos. I see a couple guys watch the lives, and I don't know who watches them when they're online. But what I want to tell you is Joe Durbin makes these bells. And they're made out of 90% or 40%. This is 90%. Handles are usually made out of 40s, but and I've seen different styles where he's had the Liberty head up here off a dime or Mercury or whatever. This one has the little leaves on, vine and leaves on. It's enamel painted, real nice. I don't know if you can see it or not. Here, I'm gonna try something today. I bought this yesterday at Walmart. I'm gonna see if I can use it today. Don't know if it'll work. I'm gonna move this over. We're gonna move this about right there. And then we're gonna put this up here. See if you can see any better. Do you see that bell? Says in God we trust, United States of America. It takes 2 coins to make this bell. And some he makes out of Morgan, some he makes out of peace dollars, some he makes out of other stuff. You see that? Isn't that? I mean, that is just beautiful. It's nice and curved. I don't know if you can even see on the back what that even says up there. But yeah, take a look at that bell, man. So I finally won one on an auction, and here's what it looks like inside. Oh, I gotta come back over. Here. So it looks like on the inside. And there's a little dinger. See that little bell? That little bell on there? Isn't that cool? Now listen to this. I know you can hear that. That, my friend, is a cool bell. There's another one I got to get with a different handle on it, but listen to that. 90% silver. Beautiful bell. And he usually packages them in packages, like that. And he sent 3 cleaning cloths with it. These are the ones that you use when you're cleaning your binoculars or your rifle scopes or something. Nice cloths. Nice cloths. And then he sent me something else. Look at this. It says Gary Huffman gift. Thank you, brother. I kind of screwed up brother there a little bit, but this is the gift he sent me. Another little drawstring pouch. Look at this little guy. Also with a nice little handle. Little enamel. Look at that. Look at that. He makes these things. Look at how small this is. You hear that? Look at the bell. Look at what it's made out of. I'm going to order 2 more of these. One for each one of my daughters. He sent that to me as a gift. Was that 2008? 1968. You see that? The date is in there, 1968. He sent that to me as a gift. Now, how many people would do that? If you guys aren't going to Durbin Auctions and supporting him, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. I'm going to get 2 more of these bells, one for each daughter. And then they're going to sit here like this: mother, daughter, daughter, daughter. Because I have 3 girls. That, my friends, is somebody, Joe and Diane Durbin. That, my friends, is somebody you want to support. Forever, I will be buying stuff on Durbin Auctions as long as he's doing stuff. Because that's just amazing. I never expected that little bell. That's a wonderful little gift, man. That's a wonderful little gift. Listen, you guys, listen to him. Man, I'm telling you, that's about as cool as it gets. And he does such a good job. Durbin Auctions and Diane's Cabin. Check those websites out. And I have to mention Bibby. Bibby's the baby. She's a German Shepherd pup. You can see her on camera sometimes. You hear her more often than you see her. But that took me by surprise, and it's too bad that my camera wasn't working yesterday, because it would have been nice for you to see the opening of the package. But it took me a while because Joe packages package and package and package, so it took me a while to get stuff open. And I know I don't want to take up time opening packages on the video. I would just take the stuff out and show you, because that's what you're there for. You're not there for watching people open packages. That's goofy. Anyway, one of the other things I did buy, and I got this a while ago on a Durbin auction, is this one. See, he puts the date, the name, and what the item number is on the auction, so you can compare this against the invoice. And you know, I'm an old military guy. My era is the Vietnam era and the Desert Storm, first Desert Storm era, and Panama. But my dad was in Korea. He was a Korean War vet. He died when he was 33, when I was 8 years old, from cancer that I believe he got in Korea, but can't prove it. So I have an affinity for Korean, Vietnam, World War II, up to present day weapons and coins and stuff. So what I bought was the World War II 50th anniversary coins from the United States Mint. And I don't think I've showed this to anybody yet. Here's the certificate of authenticity. It tells what the coins are made of and all the stuff, all the pertinent information. And on the box here, it says United States Mint. Yeah. Okay, we all know where it came from. But it comes in a nice velvet case. Nice. I mean, it's a real nice presentation case, hinged and all that stuff. But here are the coins. Look at that. And the big one's silver. The small one is just a clad. But World War II 50th anniversary coins. And it says proof right there. Proof. And they do come out. So I'll take them both out and show you. This is the clad coin here. Ah, you know what? Let's get the, I'm going to start calling this the Bibby Cam here. Start calling this Bibby Cam. And I'll put it over here like this. Oh, upside down, of course. The airplane with the V, 3 service members, says Liberty, 1991, 1995. And the little words up there, let's get the older eyes out here, says In God We Trust. Up there on top. Can you see that? Your top right. In God We Trust. Yeah. And on the back side, soldier going up over the hill. Airplane in the background. Pretty desolate battlefield. United States of America. $50. Do I got a light on someplace? Kind of a cool little coin. I like that one. And this one, it shows the big scene going up over the hill. 1921, 1995, Liberty and God We Trust. June, D-Day, June 6, 1944. And on the backside, oh, here we go. United States of America, E pluribus unum, $1. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Dwight D. Eisenhower. And the patch is, and patch yet has got me, still has got me. I don't know what unit that is, or if that is a unit patch. It's just a sword with stuff coming out of either side of the blade. I don't know. You can see the sword right there. You can see the sword pointing upward with what looks like branches coming out of both sides, but I don't know what that is. Anyway, that was a cool set I bought. And stuff like this. And I've missed some World War II stuff, some veteran stuff, because there's a bunch of people who bid on stuff on the Durban auction site, and I'm telling you right now, I don't get all of it. I get some of it, but that's a nice set, man. Real nice. I'm glad I got that one anyway. And I missed some I wanted, but there are other people who have sons or daughters, husbands, wives, aunts, uncles, grandpa, grandmas that were in the military that also are collecting things that mean something to them or will mean something to other people. So why not? I'm not gonna. I mean, I will go out of the bidding. I'll take it so far, and then I will back off and I'll let them have it because I know that they actually want it for a good reason, not just to collect, but they want it for a good reason. I had a lady say, "Yeah, my son will love this." So obviously he was an Iraq or an Afghanistan vet, and so I'll back out of that stuff, and I'll let them have it. I don't need it that bad. Anyway, I'm telling you right now, I when it comes to Durban auctions, I'm telling you right now, there aren't two people better than Joe and Diane. There are not two people better. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that surprised the hell out of me when I saw that little bell in there and I read the inscription on the I read the inscription on the bag. I was just blown away. I was. Very seldom you see people that will do that anymore. It just that amazed me. Well, I suppose if my camera's working, I should get ready for open panel this afternoon. Well, that'll be tonight, I guess. I'm going to read what's in the chat, guys. I'm going to leave them up. Hi, Mrs. Coin Crew. How are you? You were in high school during the first Desert Storm? Oh, man. That was in 90, 91, somewhere in there. I was just about ready to get out of the Army. I got alerted for Desert Storm. And there's a story all on its own. I was in the 12 Special Forces group at the time. The group commander was I want to say a bad word, was a politician. He was a judge running for some other office. And we had the opportunity to go as a group, but told the Department of the Army that we're not ready. We can't go because he was running for office someplace and he didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to get elected to that office because we were deployed. So forever in a day, I missed Desert Storm because of that asshole. We were alerted, but we never even got mowed. Never even made it to a mob station. And then because it was over and so quickly, we never did get mowed. And then I retired in 1995, and that was it for me. It was the Rangers and a small contingent that went to Panama. The Rangers jumped in, and I think I was in the 1st Infantry Division at the time. Yeah, I was a leg for 3 years. I was right at the end of Vietnam before the embassy fell, and then we had Panama, but we had Grenada in there too. So we had the elections in Haiti. A buddy of mine went to Haiti and was helping oversee elections there. We were on the same team together in the 12th, but I got out and he stayed. He stayed in, so he went. No, I went. Where the hell? Oh, I went to 85th Division, and he stayed in the 20th group, I think, or reenlisted for the 5th. I'm not sure. Anyway, he went to Haiti, oversaw elections. I went to a reserve unit in Illinois or Southern Iowa. No, Illinois. Anyway, what do we got? Mrs. Coin Crew's in here. Boy, you graduated in 91? Man. Mrs. Coin Crew 91. Where the hell was I in 91? 91, I was in which unit? 85th, 91? No, 91. Still in the 12th group. 94? 95, 94. 94 is when I went to the 85th Division because the 12th group got deactivated. We didn't go to Desert Storm, so we got deactivated. Yeah. All of our slots. The 11th Special Forces Group, and if you don't know anything about Special Forces, it's a team, company, battalion, group. Well, group is about as big as a brigade, Active Army Brigade. That is it. We have our own signal company, service company, headquarters company, and that's for the group and the rest of the people who need this stuff. So we had our own rigger section that would rig the parachutes and all that stuff. We had our own motor pool with all vehicles and mechanics and that stuff. We had our own signal company took care of all radios and communications for the group, and fixed our radios and stuff. And I was on an A team and B company, 1st Battalion. So my battalion was co-located with the group, was co-located with signal company, service company, headquarters company. Other battalion headquarters was in Kansas City or Richards Bar Air Force Base down by Kansas City. That's where my battalion headquarters is at, even though we were up in Arlington Heights, Illinois. We had 2nd and 3rd Battalion, and 2nd Bat was up in Selfridge, I think, Air Force Base in Michigan. Yeah, I think so. And I don't know where 3rd Bat was at. St. Louis? Could have been St. Louis. Anyway, we were spread all over the upper Midwest. Oh, we had teams out in California too, because I remember going out and visiting. I was on an airborne safety team for group, so I would go along on airborne operations and evaluate procedures as far as the whole procedure from start to finish, planning to execution of the mission. And I was there to evaluate safety and to give a report back to group headquarters, to the S3 section. Have to do an after action report on all the units in the 12th group. I have jumped with every unit in the 12th Special Forces group and done an after action report on them. It's one of the things I could say that I did with the 12th Special Forces group that really meant something. Otherwise, it was just strictly training all the time. Zoltan, you graduated in 2002? Holy crap. Mrs. Coin Crew, Oklahoma gal? That's where I took my Army school, my AIT, for my first enlistment in 1975. Might have been it was 75. Fort Sill, Oklahoma, down by Lawton. You betcha. I did my basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and then I did my AIT in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and then went to airborne school, Fort Benning, then up to Fort Riley, Kansas, the 1st Infantry Division. I was supposed to go to the 9th, 75th Ranger Battalion, but I got screwed up at airborne school and couldn't finish, so I couldn't go to Ranger school. Got shifted to the 1st Infantry Division, and I did one 3-year tour there as a leg. Then I got out for a year and 5-6 months. I joined a reserve unit in Minnesota, and I was working for a company in Iowa, but I was up in Minnesota logging. And so when my employer declared bankruptcy, I did what I know best. I went back into the Army. I re-enlisted active duty, and this time I re-enlisted for the 10th Special Forces Group. And I went back to airborne school, went to Special Forces Q course, got terminated in phase 2 for reasons, and I'll tell you that story. I got terminated by a Medal of Honor winner, though. He was a school commandant at the time. And because I signed a contract with the 10th Special Forces Group, I was guaranteed. So I went to the 10th Special Forces Group, but I went to Signal Company because that was my specialty in the 1st Infantry Division and what I was training for in the Special Forces Qualification course was communications. So I went to Signal Company, and I was assigned to the Base Operations Platoon number 2, the receiver section. And I was listening to code, doing radio checks with deployed detachments or undeployed detachments, listening to messages from deployed detachments, breaking those messages out because they were encrypted, so we had to decrypt them or unencrypt them and pass those messages on to the message center. And so I stayed there until 1983, and I got out again. I got out of the Army again. I joined the 12th Special Forces Group the same day I got out of the 10th Special Forces Group. And because I was moving to Kansas City, and because I was going to DeVry, which was Bell and Howell at one time, then it became DeVry, and it became something else after that. But I got my associate's degree in electronics engineering, and my reserve unit was my 12th Special Forces Reserve Unit, like I told you before, was at Richards Gabar Air Force Base in South Kansas City. That's my reserve unit I joined. And I was there for 2 years as the radio section chief. All the time I was studying and going to Fort Bragg to do the qualification course again. And I finally managed to graduate the qualification course, Special Forces qualification course in 1986. Remember, I started it in 1980, right? I graduated from the Q course in 1986. Can you imagine what it takes to keep yourself in that kind of physical shape for 6 years to pass that course? I'm going to tell you what, man, it was not easy. And to be as crippled as I am right now and not being able to get out and do stuff is hard on me just for that fact. Because for so many years, I was in that kind of shape. Well, anyway, when I graduated the Q course, I went to Heiselton, went up to Arlington Heights, Illinois. That's where I got a job with the Department of the Army. Fixing radios. Yeah, oh, geez. Who would have guessed that? Anyway, I switched companies. I transferred to B Company, 1st Battalion, 12th Special Forces Group. I went to ODA 124. And I have a friend there today, my first team sergeant. I don't know if he wants me to mention his name. I won't. MG. We're still good friends today. And a lot of the guys I met there, the guy I told you that went down to Haiti, yeah, he was a radio operator on that team, chief radio operator. I went through the Q course as an engineer, special forces engineer, which meant I like to blow shit up. Yeah, build it, but I like to blow it up better. So, but I still understood radio stuff because I did that for so many years. So I was made the engineer sergeant on the team, junior engineer sergeant, but also junior commo sergeant. Oh yeah, so. Well, after we had a shake-up in the company and the teams were all split apart because we were getting too familiar with each other, I went to ODA 121. I became what was it, a radio guy on 121. It was kind of a transition team in between. And when they finally got us transition, I became the team sergeant on ODA 122. And when I left the B Company 12th Group, when they got deactivated, I was still a team sergeant on ODA 122. So I went from 1980 getting kicked out of the course to 1995 being deactivated as a team sergeant. So yeah, man, that was and then after that, I had to stay in the reserves because my civilian job was in the reserves, called dual status technician. So I couldn't go to the National Guard with the rest of the guys to the 20th group. I had to stay in the reserves. So I joined the 85th Division. It was a training division at the time. I had a broken leg from skydiving. And so I was hobbling around on crutches. And at the same time, I was moving to southern Iowa because my civilian job was going away for reasons. And moved to southern Iowa. And I was still in the reserve unit up in Arlington Heights, Illinois, up north of Chicago. So what I did was I RST'd, or I did reserve training with other reserve units in southern Iowa, looking for a master sergeant slot or an E8 slot, which is what I was, and couldn't find one. Anyway, spent 14 months doing that, and eventually retired when I got my 20 years. It was a shit show there the last couple of years, but your dad was in the 21st Airborne. I'll have to look that up. 21st Airborne had to be part of had to be part of the 82nd or 101st. Had to be part of the 101st. I'll look it up. 21st. An Army brat, Fort Bragg. In the early 80s. Yeah, well, in the early 80s, I was at Fort Bragg going through the Q course. What was your dad doing there at Fort Bragg? Was he in the 82nd or was he in SF, Special Forces? Was he in the 5th? 5th group? Where's my, there it is. I'm looking for my piece of paper here. We'll write down 21st Special Force or 21st Airborne. I'll look that up, man. That had to be part of the 82nd then if you were at Fort Bragg. Let me see. 21st Airborne. He had to go to Panama? Okay, yeah, it had to be the 82nd then. I'll look it up. But if he went to Panama, it had to be part of the 82nd, I'm thinking. Or the 18th Airborne Corps, someplace in there. Now, when he went to Panama, he went to go look for Noriega for that mission, right? Because that's why the Rangers jumped in. They were going to go get Noriega. So he was airborne. Okay, yeah. You know, all of Special Forces is airborne, right? Y'all have to be airborne. We all have to be airborne qualified. That's not our primary job, though. The 82nd's primary job is to jump, man. Jump into combat. They are airborne infantry. That's what they are. All right. Special Forces, it's not our job. That's just a way to get to work. That's all that is. And there are other ways for us to get to work. We can get deployed from a submarine. We can use fast boats. We can scuba. We can halo, which is what I specialize in, the airborne portion of stuff. So I went to halo school, went to air assault school, which is being delivered via helicopter. High altitude, low opening school, which is halo school, which is military skydiving, basically. But you can open high and glide in for miles, or you can open low to avoid radar. So one or the other. So I did that. Airborne safety team for the group. Also, drop zone safety officer for our company. Had to go to DZ STL school. Drop zone safety and safety and training leader. DZ STL. The only air related school that I never got to go to. Oh, I also went to the Department of Agriculture's rough terrain parachuting school in Missoula, Montana, at the firefighting school there at the airport. The only air school that I didn't go to was Pathfinder school, and that's no longer there. That's gone. But Pathfinder school is the same thing as DZSTL, so I did the same thing. I just didn't get the badge. Boom. That's it. And now they don't even have Pathfinder school anymore. See, the 82nd used to have Halo guys that were Pathfinders. They would Halo in to a potential drop zone for the division and have to clear the drop zone if there wasn't one there big enough. Who was the other one I was thinking of had Pathfinders? I know the 82nd did. I'm pretty sure the Rangers probably did too. I don't know. Let me see. Let me turn up my mic here. No, that mutes it. Well, that doesn't do anything. I don't know. End of stream, end of stream. Oh, it says end of stream. So it's been 53 minutes. Does because I have free YouTube channel here, do I have a timer or something? I see a timer in the upper left corner. It says I'm live yet. The end stream must be just if you want to end the stream, I guess. I don't know. I just don't see chat running anymore. Zoltan, Mrs. Coin Crew is here, but that's about it. I didn't see anybody else. Oh, Zoltan's still here. Good, man. I don't know. You guys, that's my table. Got a lot of stuff on there, but all right, let's set the bells back over there. Let's set my bells back over here. And here's that little bag, man. Here's that little bag. Look at that little bag. Gary Huffman gift. And he starred that. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that bell more than you can ever know, Joe. and Diane's cabin with Durban Auctions. Love you guys, man. I never expected that. Never, ever did I expect that. That's amazing. Yeah, Zoltan, I should write that shit down before I die. I should write that shit down just so my daughters have something to put in my obituary. Otherwise, you're going to say Gary Huffman, born blah, 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 died blah, blah, blah. Good guy, good dad, died. Well, most people are more than that, you know. And you don't know it until and unless you write it down. I thought once about writing a book, but writing a book, getting it published. Let me get a book. I'll get a book from one of my buddies. Let's see if I can find it. Well, I don't know here. Let's see. And not that one. Not that one. I don't know where that book is at. I don't know. Oh, it might be up here. There we go. I found it. I found a few. I will show you. While I'm living up here in northern Iowa after I'm retired and all that good stuff, I decided to go bear hunting. I went bear hunting. I have a book. It's called Bear Man by Gordy Swenson. I met Gordy. I went bear hunting at his bear camp. There it is. He signed that book for me. Tells all about his life in bear hunting, Minnesota, and hunting out west. I think my picture might even made it into this book. I don't know. It did make it onto his brochure for his hunting camp. I don't know if it did or not. Doesn't matter. That book was kind of cool. This book, Raider by Charles Sasser, is about my buddy, Galen Kittleson. I don't know if this one's signed or the other one's signed. No, the other one is signed. This one's about my buddy, Galen Kittleson, who I know personally. I was one of the scout leaders in his scout group here for civilian kids in northern Iowa. He only lived maybe 10 miles from me, 11 miles. I knew his wife, Darlene, attended his funeral, attended hers. Yeah. Wasn't, I've known some great people. Sergeant Major Kittleson, Command Sergeant Major Kittleson, when he retired, was the Command Sergeant Major for the 7th Special Forces Group. And yeah, I don't know what I can say as far as information goes, but he was in Iran a couple of times. So all I can say about that. And then my other buddy, who's still on the internet right here, Terrence Pop, redonkulous.com. He's a red pill men's rights and more into preventing soldier suicide or suicide at all, you know, for anybody, but mostly soldier suicide, and kind of a red pilled men's rights kind of guy. Terrence Popp was in B Company, but he was in, let me see, what was he in? I was B Company first. He was in Charlie Company, 1st Battalion, up in Michigan, Selfridge Air Force Base. We did one mission together, training mission up there together. I remember it, and he tells the story, but I remember the story. I don't think he knew me because he was a young troop at the time, and I was an old troop at the time. Uh-oh, phone call. Yeah, we'll just hang up on that one. There we go. He was a young troop at the time, and I was older troop. Um, he wrote a book. I mean, he's still on the internet. He's doing a lot for soldier suicide and men's rights, um, especially divorce rights. But yeah, I had him sign the book too. So yeah, you can take a screenshot of that if you want. But yeah, I've known, worked with, friends with some famous people. Well, maybe not famous, but people who I think uh, made a difference in this world. So, I can't, I'm not going to brag about my life because I don't think I've done anything special other than to be there when other people did things special. But hey, whatever. Your uncle retired as command sergeant major. Oh, Mrs. Coin Crew, we got to talk then. Mrs. Coin Crew, I will look you up and send you an email with my phone number in. You can give me a call. I'm famous among the squirrel that we're around in my mind. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I can call you at the shop. Yeah, I can call you at the shop. So what the hell? I've talked to you before. Oh man. Yeah, I know. I like going to you guys' auction too. I bought quite a little stuff there, I think. I like to see what I can get from I like to see what I can take Keith for and see if he I don't know. I only got him that one time on a piece of platinum. That was all, but I thought that was good. He got me on the gold, so I didn't get serious about stacking. I was buying coins before that, but I would buy um, from the ones that were advertising, like in the magazines and stuff. That would send you magazines that you could buy out of, like Littleton, and that bunch of stuff. Always overpriced. Some of it, and then I bought a tube of Eagles. I thought were cheap. Yeah, they were cheap, all right. Found out they were counterfeit after I started learning about stuff. But I sold them. I don't know what I bought them for, but I sold them for $5 a piece. I gave a few away, but I sold them for $5 a piece to another coin dealer who thought he could make some money on them. He goes back in the back room and cries sometimes. I find that hard to believe. Keith knows what stuff is worth. But I call those, even if you sell something for less than what you had to pay for it, I call those lost leaders. And back in the day, back in the 70s, they had records that were called lost leaders. They would have a song from, every song was a different group, and it was more of an advertisement than anything. And you could buy those, and there's the one song I like, and then you go out and buy that album. And so they were selling them at a discounted price, but they would more than make back their money in album sales. And yeah, it evens out. You even make money on that. But they were called Lost Leaders, and I had a whole bunch of them. I had like 6 or 7 of them. I had a great big album collection at one time. I was what they call an audiophile. I had a Marantz stereo, phonograph, big speakers, just, and I had 350 albums. I mean, a box. It was an M16 box. That M16s come in full of albums, end to end. And I remember my wife said, well, you don't listen to them anymore. You should get rid of those. So I got rid of them at about $1 a piece. And now albums are starting to come back. Vinyl's starting to come back. Record players are starting to come back. And I probably could have sold them for 10 times that much. But hey, that's the way shit goes. And that's why I save stuff. Metal. I have metal. Racks and racks of metal. I have a farm out here. I live on 160 acres. I own 3 acres here that the house and the building set on. And I have 80 acres of farmland around me. A river and woods that runs through 80 acres of river and woods that runs through there. So I can hunt deer, turkey, mushrooms, fish. I can do whatever I want out here because my father-in-law owns it and my brother-in-law farms it. Sister-in-law's husband farms it. So I can do pretty much whatever I want. And I save stuff. I save metal. I save copper, wire, aluminum, lead especially. Lead I will melt down. Soft lead now, not hard lead, but soft lead I will melt down, and I will skim the steel and stuff out, like old tire weights and stuff, and then pour it into bars. I don't know what they are, 5-6 pound bars. So I save lead, save metal, because you never know when you're going to need it. As soon as you sell something, that's when you need it. So I keep it. So I got a house full of shit. I had to build another shed to house all my shit. But you see, I'm kind of self-sufficient. I have my own butchering room. It's like a mini locker, basically. I have an 8x10 walk-in cooler. I have a big grinder. I have 2 bandsaws. I have 2 12-inch slicers. I have a 12 rack dehydrator. I have machines that suck the air out of stuff. So I got a sharp freezer out there. I got 1, 2, 3 sharp freezers in the house. Got a refrigerator freezer out there. Got a refrigerator freezer in the house. Got one in the mudroom. Have a generator to run my well if I need it. And what electricity I need. I got guns up the wang. I got ammo up the wang. Hi, Gremlin. Are you here? Anyway, when we butcher, we'll buy cattle or hogs. Actually, my brother has hogs getting ready to go in June, probably end of June. So he was asking the family if anybody wanted one. I'm going to take a half a hog. my daughter Rose is going to take half a hog. I don't know if daughter Mary's going to take half a hog. So we'll probably take 2 pigs, just our family. And don't know if anybody else wants any. I think he's got 20 of them ready to go. Ashley, how are you? We're just sitting here talking nonsense. And I have my own metal shop out there, and everything is either I have LP heat in there, furnace, and air conditioner, so I keep it constant temperature in the shop and a little bit cooler in the butchering room. But when we butcher, we'll buy hogs or cattle local, and just so happens my older brother Steve, he's a year older than me, 15 months, uh, has hogs ready to go in June. So we'll probably get 2 hogs, just my family. And I don't know, because I have, there's 11 in my family. So I have 10 brothers and sisters. Not all of them here. One out in California with Ashley, but he's down south, just north of LA. And Ashley's way up north. And I think I got one in Rochester, Minnesota, which is only hour and a half away, not even that hour away. Waterloo, Iowa, where my daughter is, that's another hour and something away. One that lives down by Iowa City is 3 hours away. Otherwise, they're pretty local around here. So, and then he's got a neighbor that said he'd take a couple. And then the rest of them will get sold. You know, there's a hog buyer here. So, or cattle, you know, somebody gets a cow that breaks a leg, a beef cow that breaks a leg, or something like that. They can't sell it, so they'll give it away. And we'll give them something for it, you know, because usually I'm the one's got to go out and kill it. And then we'll gut it and butcher it. You know, we got to load it on a trailer and bring it here and got to hang it and quarter it. And then it goes in the cooler. So it all takes some work. So I got the skid loader and tractor. And brothers and nephews who have some muscle anymore yet. Or when the guys go deer hunting, when we go deer hunting, you know, at the most we've had 26 deer hanging. I don't think we've ever had under 20. I think this last year we had 20 or 21. And that's the whole group. So that's not just family, that's a regular deer hunting group. And we can go through 20 deer in 3 days, easy. I mean, and that's cut up, packaged, everything cleaned up, everything in the freezer, meat all in the freezer, and the butcher room cleaned up in 3 days. If we get everybody working, you know, usually it's just me, my brother Phil, brother Brian, sometime brother Brian's son, Josh, and we'll get the other guys from the group in there for a couple of days anyway. But, you know, doing the cleanup and stuff, it's usually us that's doing it. And I got to pull out the grates, so I got to clean the drains and stuff because it's my room, you know. It's me that's got to do it. And everybody thinks that stuff just gets cleaned up on its own. I'm the guy that's got to put salt in the water softener, go buy the salt, go buy the detergent, you know. And I try to get guys to kick in $5 or $10 every year, and it happened 1 or 2 years. You got $50 to buy supplies. Other than that, no. They just conveniently forget about it. Actually, you have poker chips? Maybe mine's coming yet. I don't know. I know I got a package coming from Ashley. Who else I got a package coming from? I have another one coming from Durban. I think I have one coming from Coin Crew. Maybe. I think I do. Yeah, I do. I do have one coming from Coin Crew. Who else do I have stuff coming from? I got stuff coming from Brad V. Hillbilly. I took banks with. I think I want one of his hammers. I'm not sure. Spectacular. I wonder if I have one from him. This is what I have for poker chips. That's all right there. Oh no, that's not all. Hold up a minute. I forgot. I have one more. One more sitting here in my truck. Brad V. I have one from Mrs. RC and RC. I got one from Kraken. Maybe I should get the. Hold up a second. Let me put this stuff over here. We're going to move this over a little bit. We're going to bring this out here. Yep, there we go. Oh, wait a minute. Get up here. Get up here. There you go. Now let's see. There you go. RC's. Brad V's. Uh-oh. I think that's Kraken's, ain't it? Let me look with my old eyes. Yep, stacking with Kraken. Oh, over here. God damn. I don't know why I'm stacking with Kraken. Okay. And what else we got? This is Oregon. That's Oregon stackers. Yeah. And we got Mellows. Mellow stacks. Oh, we got Tulies. Yeah. Who we got here? Farmers. One of Farmers, anyway. We got Captain Stacks. Captain Stacks. What else we got here? Sailor stacking, I think. Yeah. We got Sailor. Oh, we got another one from Gold Sniping Farmer. The old tractor one. I like that one. Who do we got here? Oh, this was SGT, I believe, when he did his 1,000. Yeah, SGT's when he did his 1,000 party. And I got this one just simply because it's a bear. You remember Grizzly Dip? You could put in your lip. American Tobacco Company, yeah. Oh, mygrizzly.com. Yeah, it was brand name Grizzly. I kept that because of the bear logo. I gave one of those away. I think I had 2 of them. Then we got Addicted to Precious Metals. We got that one. And then my last one, I think, yeah, I got 2 of them from Oregon. Yep. 2 of them from Oregon. That's all I got for chips, man. I thought I had an MLZB, but I don't. I don't have an MLZB. I don't have a Jenny. I don't have LZB Junior. I don't have a lot of them. But that's all I got for chips, man. Let's take this out of here. I'll put that over there. Okay. I might have to take that lid off of that thing. That is a lighted magnifier, desk lighted magnifier I got. I thought it was cheaper than buying a new camera that have the close-up, and I was right. It works great. All you do is slide it over, and here. Let's do that for coins. Let's see. Let's just take a, here. How is that, man? Is that close enough? You think I got close enough? Let me see if I can find one that's, all right. Oh, I got to show you what I got in the mail. How do you like this one? I had that one up on my stage as a choice, but you know what? I'm not giving that one away anymore. I'm keeping that one. I decided I'm keeping it. Look what I got from, I think this is from Brad V. I had to have that one. Look at how thick that and how much how raised that is. And that capsule is cool, man. I never seen one like that before. I had to have that. I won that one on a race. Oh, I wanted to show you that other one. This is the one I got. You see, that's a World Wildlife coin. It's the bear, and it's from the Congo. You know, it's a 20 franc coin. I didn't care about that. What I wanted was, and I don't collect World Wildlife coins, but I wanted that bear to go with my bear up there. And what's the other one? I got another one, if I could find it. I don't even know where it's at right now. Oh, yeah, I do. Right there it is. This is the Alaska State coin with a bear on it. I take it out of plastic, but see, it's just a silver quarter. Oh, look. Look whose flip it's in. Uh-huh. Now you know why I had to have that coin, didn't you, Mr. Coin Crew? That goes over there with my bear. Here's another one. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of. I think I might just keep this. I don't know. That sarcophagus drawing. Michelangelo made that. It was on the sarcophagus of Giuliano de Medici. And what is that called? Mask of Night. Grotesque living creature of the sarcophagus. Yeah. Giuliano de Medici. But that was, I think that was made by who the same guy, Michelangelo. I think did that. I might keep that coin too. I'm thinking about it. But I have a whole bunch of other stuff up here. I don't know, man. I'll keep all that stuff, but you know, silver is silver, and I got a lot of it up here. Yeah, I got 30 some ounces, 40 in here, up here. I don't know, man. I keep trying to move stuff around. I keep trying to put bars up here. I'll put a whole bunch of bars up here at one time. I think what I do, and I think it's the same with RC. Sometimes I think it's the same with who's the other guy that's on? We have too much stuff on the stage, and I think the butt cracking. I don't know. I don't have cranky. cracking. Yeah, you know the people on that flip, don't you? And I hate to tell you, Miss Cranker, but I got more of them flips than I need. You guys must buy them by the gross. Yeah, I don't collect a lot of stuff. I'm going to one of these days. I'm going to bring my collection of, and I don't know. You guys know that I collect. Ashley knows it anyway. That I collect the Canadian First Special Service Force coins. I've got them all in here. And I just ordered some more from. Where did I get them from? There are only 3 dealers that had them. Only one that had the gold. Did I order gold? No, I just ordered some silver. I'll order gold next month. Yeah, like gold won't be higher next month. But they're the first Special Service Force coins. They were commemoratives from the Canadian Mint. And they only made them from 2013 to 2021. They didn't make any in 2020 because of COVID. And I have every year except 2021 and 2019, I believe. Before and after COVID. But every year, they never made a 1 ounce. Every year they made a 1/2 ounce silver coin, okay, commemorating the first Special Service Force, which was a joint American-Canadian special forces kind of unit during World War II, mostly recon, sabotage, intel gathering. But 1 year or 2 years, they made a 3/4 ounce. And I think I have both of them. And every year they made a 1/10 ounce gold coin. And I think I have every year except the 19 and 21. And 1 year they made a 1/4 ounce gold coin. I have one of them. I think you can still get them. A 1/4 ouncer. So my collection is pretty complete. And when I see them, I buy them. I don't, anybody on the streams? Uh-oh. I got a text coming in. Anybody on the streams, like Ashley, I saw them on yours. I saw them on Cash Money's, and I'll buy them right away. I don't care. It doesn't matter what they cost. I buy them. And I have a whole bunch of the 2015s. And so I belong to a Special Forces Association chapter here in Iowa. And so I will hand them out at times. Yeah, that's right. I just give people silver. I don't charge people for them. I even gave one guy that we go to lunch with every day that lives a little, not very far from me, maybe 45 minutes away. We have a captain from 5th Group who used to be a county deputy and a policeman. We have lunch with him and the helicopter crew chief once a week, if we can, maybe once every 2 weeks. And I gave him one, the helicopter crew chief one, because he crew chiefed on Hueys. I jumped from Hueys. I rode on Hueys. I fixed Hueys. I was an avionics tech for 11 years. And my job was to work on Huey helicopters and OH-58s, Kiowa helicopters. I think we had one Cobra. And we had fixed wing aircraft, but that was the avionics on the fixed wing was subcontracted out to who made King Airs? Beach. I think it was Beach. subcontracted out to Beach. They had a shop up there at Glenview Naval Air Station, and they worked on the avionics for the King Airs and the Queen Airs that we had. Before I got there, we had Beavers and Otters. But when I was there, we had King Airs and Queen Airs, and OH-58s and UH-1s and AH-1s. And just before I left, maybe a year before I left, is when we got our first UH-60 in Black Hawk. So we were doing avionics on all of those, but mostly I worked on Hueys. So it's a cool deal. It's a cool deal. I don't know. All right, what else we got to talk about, man? Oh, Space Miner's here. Hey, buddy. Cranky was a literal potato chip on 7 stacks. What does that mean? He was flaky? Fish. What is fish? I don't know what that is. I have to kind of read chat every other what I'm saying here. Oh, yeah, if you guys didn't know it, every Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock, I'm up on panel with Supreme Ginger Stacker. A lot of times we'll have John Wolf, Spokane. Just depends on who wants to come up. It's kind of an open panel. We'll go through a couple races. We'll do an auction or so. Ginger's got to get to work in the afternoon, so he's got to get ready. And so the stream doesn't last that long, a few hours, 2-3 hours, and that's it. But yeah, we'll do some races, and we'll do usually $4 or $5. Sometimes, late at night, like on Kiwis, I'll do a $2 race. Or like one time I put gold up there for, what was it? 4 for 20? Yeah, 4 for 20. I did a half a gram of Valcambi, but it was in the assay. No, it was an IGR in the assay. And I couldn't fill 20 slots. I don't think we had 20 people watching at the time. It was late at night, and it was the last day we do it. And Angela, Silver Selling Machine, she'll put some stuff up cheap. And so I decided I was going to do that. I couldn't get anybody to buy any silver, so we were putting up gold. And so I put up a half gram IGR and assay. I think it was 4 for 20. I couldn't fill that. Could not fill that. I had 10 people. Oh, it was for a gram. That's what it was. It was for a gram. That's $80 for a gram of gold. Cheap by any means. I couldn't fill it. So what I did was, if it was okay with everybody that had already sent money or was going to send money that was in the race, I have 2 grams, 2 half ounce or 2 half gram gold bars. And let me see. Are they Valcambis? Let me check real quick. Yeah, I think they're Valcambis. Oh, look, I don't have the magnifier. Nope, these are IGRs. The other one was a Valcambi grammer, and I couldn't get anybody to buy that. So I had 2 IGRs, half grams. One was in the assay, IGR assay, and it was still in its little protective cover and stuff. And this other one is, and I gave him a choice. So we had 2 people in for 10. No, we had 10 people in for 2. So that was, 10 people in for $4. So that was $40 for half gram of gold. And everybody said, okay, let's do it. And I'm glad I had half grammars because I switched the grammar out for half grammars because we only had half the people fill a race. Everybody said, okay. So we went with it. And who was it? Kiwi won it. Kiwi won the half gram of gold. And Kiwi doesn't like gold. He doesn't really care for it. So he said, send it to Brad and they would work out a deal for some silver on it. No problem. As long as you two agree with it, I don't care. And so we did a half a gram of gold for $40. You know, I was willing to sell a gram for 80. It cost me more than that to buy them. Let's see. What is it? Let's just use the old Kelvinator here. I think it's $70, $76. Let me see. We're going to do just $2,300 divided by 31.1. You come up with 73.954. So $74 for gram of gold. Divide that by 2. You get a half a gram for 37, actually 37, 36.977. So $37. All right. So you got the half a gram of gold for $40. All right. And half a gram of gold costs $37. All right. What does it cost me to send it to you and put tracking on it so we don't lose it? It cost me $5.20 about. So I got $40. I spent $5. That's $35. I lost money on that. But we'll do that late at night sometimes for the people who are still hanging around. So just letting you guys know, you know, you can get some good deals at times. Your fish don't float anymore. I don't do the gambling. Oh, the racing? Yeah, well, I do. It depends. I will do it on certain people's streams. I won't do it on other people's streams. His chip is a chip instead of a poke. Oh, you mean like a potato chip kind of chip? Oh, Zoltan was the aquatic stacker. Okay, now I know what the fish is. All right. Space Miner, I will get in a race for osmium any frickin' day because I know about osmium. I want to buy some osmium yet. So I think it's either you or I got to go to, I got him written down. The guy up in Idaho or Utah that's selling it to. 11 tanks down to 3. Wow, you had 11 tanks with fish in? What did you specialize in fish? Freshwater or saltwater? Or both, maybe? Yeah, I've never heard. That's right. Exactly. I got his phone number and address and everything written down in my notebook up here. Yes, exactly. Osmium, I think, it intrigues me. It intrigues me more than Bitcoin, than crypto. Because I can give you money, you're giving me a digital asset. No, I am not. No, I'm not doing that. Maybe I'm too old for that. I don't know. Osmium is something I can actually hold and look at. And it's a platinum group metal. So, I understand. I understand crypto. What I don't understand is meme coins. That's what I don't understand. But crypto, especially Bitcoin, I understand that. But if the government is going to go to a digital currency, the whole world is going to go to a digital currency at some point, I believe. Okay. Let's just assume that we're going to have a CBDC in the next 10 years here in the United States. No cash, just digital. You're going to have an account at the Fed, And that's where your money goes. That's where your money comes from. All right. You just digitally on your phone or on the computer, just digital. Do you think those governments want any competition when it comes to digital currencies, as far as Bitcoin or Dogecoin or any of those other coins? Do you think they want um, any competition? No. They're going to find a way to regulate them out of existence so that they have uh, the only, so they have a monopoly on digital currency. That's the way communism works, and it's totalitarianism. That's what it is. It's communism. So instead of one person being in charge of the whole world, we're going to have a group of people being in charge of the whole world. Right now, we don't have a representative republic in the United States anymore. We don't. We have the illusion of a representative republic. We have an illusion of choosing our leader, quote unquote, our leaders. We really don't. We have a technocratic I want to call it democracy because it's mob rule. Democracy is mob rule. So yeah, maybe we have a technocratic democracy. It's a combination of the military-industrial complex and technology. That's what we have, man. We do not have a representative republic like the founding fathers envisioned. We don't have that anymore. Sorry to say. Yeah, that's what I believe. Osmium is tangible. I don't know if it's tangible. Crypto, but crypto metal. Well, yeah, I guess maybe you could call it that. Technocracy. There you go. That's what we have. We just don't have a representative republic anymore. We have that illusion. That's all we have. And honestly, I don't know when people are going to have had enough and start fighting back, if they ever will, because it's so subtle, it's so slow that people just go along with it until they don't have anything else. And then they'll say, "Oh, poor me, poor us." Too late by then, you know. Fuck it. I'll be dead. I don't care. What I care about is my kids, and my kids don't understand history. They don't understand that there are three general forces fighting for control of this world. One of them is technocracy, like you say, that we have here. One of them is communism, full blown communism, like they have in China. Soviet Union, or the other one trying to take over the world and exert control over everyone is not, I don't want to say it, man. I'm going to get banned. It's Islam. Sorry. That's what it is, man. Those are the three forces that are fighting for this world right now, for control of the world. And if you really sit down and think about it and look at it, that's it. You'll come to the same conclusion. Yeah, Space Miner, I've read, and I was raised as a Catholic. I've read all of the Left Behind series of books, and I have a whole bunch of them over there. I am not a Catholic. I quit being a Catholic after my daughters all got confirmed in the Catholic Church. I told them once they were confirmed, they could think for themselves, they could choose their own religion. And I advised them go out and study all the religions. Go out and study Christianity, Judaism, Islam, uh, old religions, Buddhism and Confucianism and Hinduism. Look and study at how the Catholic Church um, or Christianity was reformed during the Reformation, and we got all of the split, the Baptist, the Methodist, the others, and you decide what you want to do, where you want to go, if you want to go. And they have. I think I have two of my girls go to church, not Catholic, but they go to Methodist church or Protestant. I have one daughter who married her husband, and he is a trans individual who went through all of the trans procedures. My daughter thinks she's a lesbian. She might be. I don't know. Could be. There is such a thing as gender dysphoria. It doesn't affect as many people as it seems nowadays. Nowadays, it's just a popular thing to say. I want to be accepted, so I'm bi, or I'm this, or I'm that, and you're not. It's just a mass hysteria kind of thing. Anyway, well, I went to their wedding. I'm happy for her. She told me she was gay when she was high school. Okay, what do you want me to do about that? I can't do anything about what you are. You are what you are, man. Uh, just be the best person you can be, whether you're straight or gay or whatever you are. Just be the best person you can be. And we don't talk much. She doesn't like my way of thinking. And I'm kind of sad at that, but that's just the way it is. I cried at her wedding, man. I think like any father would. My middle daughter's had several boyfriends. She is just a go-getter, a doer. She doesn't like girly men or needy men. She doesn't like them, and she won't put up with them. Right now, she bought a house in Waterloo, Iowa. She's fixing it up and doing all the remodeling and shit herself with help from her mother and with help from one of her cousins who's an electrician. And she's getting the place done, man. My youngest daughter, which was my problem child, I won't tell her problems. I won't tell you her problems in high school, but um, she eventually settled down with a Iraqi vet. He was a military policeman, an MP in Iraq, the second Iraq war. And they ride motorcycles. He is the president of the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association in Minnesota. She bought a house in Mason City, Iowa, lived there for several years, did some improvements, sold the house, made some money. And now they live in Minnesota, and they're renting to buy, and they ride motorcycles, Harleys. That's their thing. I actually went to the Iowa A-Bait rally a few years ago, where their chapter was. They had a big stand there and everything. I went because Gray White was playing there, and if you don't know Bill Richards, who is a equipment truck driver for Great White and personal friend Jack Russell and his wife, helps him on stage and all that stuff because he has back problems. Um, he and I are pretty good friends. We met, I don't know how many years ago, and we had a great time. And I've been to several concerts because of Bill. And they were playing there with Lita Ford and who else was playing? Somebody else was playing. I forget. And so I went to that rally, stayed overnight, went to the concerts, talked to a lot of Vietnam vets up in the beer tent. That's when I was still drinking. And my youngest daughter made her boyfriend, God bless his soul, watch me because I was crippled at the time, crippled up with my ankle. And he was there. He was in the crowd. He was just watching me, make sure I didn't fall down or get in any fights or anything. So, so one Christmas, I noticed, I've been to their house. I noticed he had a gun safe in the house. I don't know what he's got in the safe, if it's money, coins, whatever. I'm sure he has some long guns, but they had someone come into their house one night when off the road, got stuck in a snowstorm, come into their house during the snowstorm, and their pit bull, God bless her soul, doesn't like people, but the pit bull was penned up somewhere, and the lady walked right into their living room before they heard her dog barking and everything. Otherwise, that dog would have tore her up because that pit bull doesn't like strange people. You have to understand that dog to be able to get along with her. I understand her. She's a people dog. She has to be around people. But you got to spend some time with her. Anyway, after that, my daughter said something about, yeah, we should have something for protection, blah, blah, blah. I gave them a handgun. I gave them one of my Canics. I think I gave them the double action, the TP9 DA. Yeah, I gave him the TP9 DA, which is a double action striker fired. So if the hammer's down, or if because it has a decocker on it, so you can decock it. So once you put a round in the chamber, it's cocked. It's a striker fired gun. Okay, but it's got a decocker on, so you can decock it. Okay, but you can still fire a double action, and it will fire like a DASA revolver, but it's a striker fired gun. So I gave him that for Christmas. Oh, going back to the God-fearing man thing. Yeah, I know how I got. I know how I got where I'm at right now. No, I believe in a superior being. You can call him God. You can call him Allah. You can call him Buddha. You can call him Confucius. You can call him whatever you want to call him. I know what Judaism calls him, and that's Yahweh. Right? Okay. It wasn't Jesus because there is no verbs in that alphabet. So there's no E and U. So it's Yesu, Yahweh. Anyway, I believe in a superior being. Why do I believe in a superior being? Because everything in this universe, you as a person included, look at what you're made of. Okay, you're made of mostly water, right? But go down to the molecular level. Everything is held together by energy. Matter, what you see, this solid stuff, is just what you perceive. It's just what your mind perceives. It's energy. It's all energy. If you've ever seen the movie The Matrix, then you will know everything is just perception. Okay, look down to molecular level, the atomic level, and then subatomic level. All right, everything is mathematically perfect. Everything can be explained by math. Everything is energy. Energy can neither be destroyed nor created. It can only change form. You are energy. Subatomic particles, atomic particles, molecular particles, you are all energy because you're made of molecules. You're energy. just energy that holds everything together. Okay. In my mind, energy changes form. It expands and contracts, right? Yes, I believe in the Big Bang Theory, but I also believe that. Uh, all right, let me explain here. I don't know who that is. Hang up. I don't care who that is. Come on, hang up. All right. Everything is energy. You, this desk, table, bells, coins, everything, energy. Everything's held together by energy. Energy, the energy is math. Let's look at it. All right. All right. Energy is neither created or destroyed. It just changes form. All right. So when we die, where does our energy go? Well, you're still energy because your body is still there, right? It's still energy, but the energy that's in you leaves. All right, where does it go? It goes to the big battery in the universe. All right, it's just a holding place for energy. I call it the big battery because your energy goes back to the big battery. The battery is always charging and discharging, charging and discharging. Maybe I should turn the camera around this way. Charging and discharging, charging and discharging. Yeah. I'll turn it up so you can see my face. Energy is charging and discharging, right? The big battery in the sky. All right. Here's what happened during the Big Bang. Energy changes form. So what it does, it contracted. It contracted. It contracted. The universe that we live in was contracting. Time was running backwards. It was contracting into the smallest particle it could possibly fit all that energy into. That energy was in just a nanoparticle, all the energy of the universe, until finally, all that energy, that little particle of energy, all that energy can no longer compress because it does take up space, right? It compressed to such a small particle that it released. That was the Big Bang. That energy went out. That's what we call the universe today. The universe, as we know it today, is still expanding. Correct? Is that not right? The universe is still expanding. The outer edges of the universe are still moving out. So universe is expanding. Yes, evolution and the Big Bang is the same thing. If you think about it, you got to think about it a little bit. I'm going to be cremated too. All right. And then they're going to take my ashes. This is what I want. Take my ashes, and you're going to plant a big chestnut tree. I want a big chestnut tree planted in my ashes, someplace where that tree can grow for 200, 300 years without fear of being cut down. That's what I want. I want my death to be the beginning of some new life. Make sense to you? Makes sense to me. Anyway, okay. The universe is still expanding. That means time is going forward, right? You're going 12 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. Okay. Time is still running forward. When the universe gets to its outer limits, when it can no longer expand, it will start to contract. Again, it will start to contract. And you will see time running backwards. Right? You will see time running backwards. And the universe will contract. It will keep contracting. Again, this process has been done over and over and over again throughout the many multi-millennia. It expands and contracts. That expansion is the Big Bang. The contraction is slower until it can no longer contract and get any smaller, then it explodes again. All right. As far as evolution goes, All right. The Big Bang happened, right? The universe is still expanding. Galaxies are still forming because nothing is done yet. When the universe gets to its outer edge, when it can no longer expand, everything will be done. Galaxies will have formed, planets will have their ecosystems will have formed, and we'll start going the other way. All right. Evolution on Earth. We're still evolving, right? Which means the universe is still expanding. At one time, there were dinosaurs. Before the dinosaurs, there were what? Uh, Fishes in the ocean, megalodons, stuff that crawled out that became humans. Yeah, we're still evolving. Now, do I believe that there are other parts of this universe, other galaxies, other parts of this universe that life evolved quicker than we did? Yeah. Certainly. Much more advanced. Do you think that they haven't explored their part of the universe or their part of the galaxy? If they're way more evolved than we are, sure they did. Was the evolution on Earth because we have evolved from monkeys? All right. We got that far. We got to monkeys. Let's go from the fish that crawled out of the sea to monkeys. All right. We made it that far. Humans were starting to evolve from monkeys. I think we got all the way up to uh, Neanderthals, maybe even before that. And our evolution was interrupted. There were some other and more advanced technologies that came here searching for resources. And they found gold. They wanted gold. That's why gold is so valued in our society today. There were evolved beings that came here and they saw a race of beings that could be manipulated to become workers. They were here extracting gold themselves while humans were evolving. But they said, hey, you know what? We can maybe get into the DNA and put this little thing in their DNA and evolve them faster and into what we want them to be, a worker race. And that's what happened, I believe. Our evolution was messed with. We became humans. And they made a mistake. And they put a gene in there that gave us free will, that gave us the ability to make rational decisions. And that was their mistake. Humans started to evolve to the point where, hey, we're not doing this shit anymore for these guys. That's when they left and left us to evolve. Do you think they're still keeping an eye on us? Sure they are. Have been for thousands of years. I think there are some craft that they left here, or some have crashed, and they're like us. We have accidents all the time with aircraft. Just here on this earth, do you think they might have accidents with aircraft just because they're more evolved? Sure they will. Yeah, accidents happen. Shit happens, man. Do you think that we're smart enough, we've evolved far enough that we can back engineer those craft that we have either found or have shot down? Yeah, I think so. We've done that. All the craft that we see flying around now, the UFOs, they're ours. They're humans. They're not the intelligent races that were here before. Those are ours. Those are the ones that we have back engineered. We are not, maybe we're not ready for interstellar travel. I think we are. I think we're there at that point. All of that information, I think, has been kept from um, the public. And I'm not just talking the American public, but the world as a whole. Uh, we have that information kept from us, keep us stupid. I got to read the chat here. Let's go here. Yeah, my kids were all bullied in high school. You want to know why? Because I moved from Washington, Iowa, where my kids went to school, went to grade school there, and would have been entering high school, but my job changed to uh, there to Cedar Falls, Iowa, which is halfway in between here and Washington, Iowa. Okay. And my in-laws were willing to sell this place fairly cheaply at the time. And I would have had to been driving an hour and a half, hour, 20 minutes, either way, living in Washington or here. And I own that. I had a mortgage on that place in Washington. So we decided we were going to move here, take the farm instead of living in town. I didn't like living in town anyway, even though I was 7 minutes from work. So, 7 minutes from work there. Now, if my job had moved to Cedar Falls, Iowa, and I still lived in Washington, it would have been an hour and a half, 2 hour drive to get there to work every day and back. So we decided to buy this place, okay, which meant my kids had to move schools. They went to grade school here for 2 or 3 years, then they went to high school here. But you have to remember, this is only a town of, what, 7,000, 8,000 people? Everybody knows everybody. This is where I used to live. This is where I used to live. So they know me. They know my brothers and sisters. They don't know my kids. And Huffmans did not belong to that clique at the Osage High School. There are cliques there. They were bullied. Yes, they were. And that's why they got in trouble, and that's why they wanted to get the hell out of there. So, yeah, I don't know if it was a wise decision to move them here, but we did. Yeah, Canick's a well-made pistol. I have several Canics. I have several CZs. I have several Colts. I have what else do I have? Oh, some Rock Island Armory. What else do I have out there? I don't know. Or in here. Tesis makes some nice guns. I have a couple of Tesis. I like my Canics and I like my CZs. And, you know, it was a big move for me to go from my double single action semi-automatics with hammers and safeties so that I could carry locked and cocked. Everything started to get too heavy for me, steel frame guns. So I went to, you want me to shut that? Oh man, where is it? It's on the other side. I'll get it. Oh, there it is right there. All right. I shut that. Maybe that'll be better. Yeah, to go to a striker fired gun. You know what I really like? I like a striker fired gun, but it had a manual safety on it. That's what I like. I like manual safeties. I don't like to have a striker fired gun sitting in my appendix carry or my hip. A striker fired gun has no safety. That striker is cocked and ready to go. All you have to do is pull a trigger and it's done. And so I'm having a hard time adjusting. Although I do like the polymer frame guns because they're lighter to carry. All right. And guns have gotten to the point where they've gone from full size 5¼ inch down to compacts, down to subcompacts, down to micro compacts. And I do have a couple of micros. I tried a couple of subcompacts I didn't like. I have one, the Canik Elite SC. That's one of my carry guns. I have a red dot on that one. That one fits my hand as long as you have an extended magazine base. Even with the extended magazine base, most of the micro compacts, all the micro compacts, and most of the subcompacts do not fit my hand. But the Canik Elite does, so I carry that one. I also have, I never did like Glocks, but I have a Glock 43X. Fits my hand very nicely. Compact handguns. All right, so I have gone from full-size handguns to compacts to micros, or subcompacts to micros. I don't like micros. One subcompact I like compact size handguns. 4-inch, 3.5, 375. I like those. One or two of them. 4-inch, 4¼ inch. Those are the ones I like. They fit my hand. I like them. I like that 43X. I like my Elite subcompact. I wish the other ones I like. Oh, I like my Canik, or no, my CZP-10C. Yeah, my CZP-10C and my CZP-07. I like the P-07 the best out of all of them. Why? The hammer-fired gun. I don't know. That's just my preference. It's not a striker-fired gun. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like my CZP-10C. It's a striker-fired gun and no safety, but I surely like the way it fits my hand. Same thing with my Elite SC, striker-fired gun, no safety. If somebody would make a striker-fired gun with thumb safety, just that thumb safety over there, like a 1911, a nice one, not hard, just nice. I mean, because when I draw, my thumb goes there anyway. And it's safer carrying it. Yes, I believe in the Big Bang Theory, and yes, I believe in evolution, but I also believe that they happen at not the same time, but different times. But see, you think of evolution in the time frame that that scientists, quote unquote scientists, archaeologists say it happens. No. I believe it happened, and the time frame is a lot longer. And just like I believe the universe is still expanding and time running forward, and it was just a big bang of energy. It was a release of energy. It's all of us. All right. And yeah, evolution played a part in our world here, but also played a part in every other place in the universe. And do you think that some places evolved faster than others? Sure they did. Sure they did. Those are the ones that came here. Those are the ones that manipulated our DNA. Those are the ones that made us into a race of workers. But they screwed up and they gave us in our genes that little, or in our DNA, that little gene that gave us free will, decision making. And they screwed up. And your worldview is a little smaller than mine. I don't look at this world in the context of what scientists and archaeologists say happened in that time frame. I think it's bigger than that. I think the time frame is a lot larger. But hey, Lisa, good to see you, man. So yeah, the universe is still expanding. We are still evolving, just like the whole universe is still evolving, still growing, still expanding, and so are we. You know, we're still evolving. You don't think if we don't have an atomic war, if we're allowed to evolve as humans, I think we'll eventually get to the point that we no longer need bodies, that we will just be intelligences. My opinion. But because what are we thinking? You know, it's all energy. Think about it. And let's get back to religion. Yes, I believe in a higher being. Why? Because everything in this universe is mathematically perfect, right down to subatomic particles, to the universe as a whole is mathematically perfect. It cannot be that perfect by chance. Can't be. It has to be thought out and pre-planned. Has to be. I don't know. I think about it in a larger context. Math is perfect. Is it not? Everything is math. Everything is math. Energy is math. You're math because you're made of energy. Everything you see and feel and touch, see, feel, taste, it's all energy. Energy. It's all energy. And when you die, your energy goes back to the big battery. The big battery charges and discharges. That's my, you die, there's another person born. So, do I believe in life after death? No, I believe in reincarnation. That's what I believe in. Your energy goes into the big battery, it gets mixed with all the other energy, and you come out. The other side, you're discharged back out into the universe. If you're lucky, you come out not as mixed up as a lot of people do. I could tell you that just from my experience in my 68 years here on Earth, I have been awakened one time out of my sleep, terrified. I mean, just terrified, screaming at the top of my lungs, terrified of something that was trying to get into bed with me. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a dream. I know what dreams are. I try to remember my dreams in the morning. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Or the essences of those dreams. And there was one other time when I was sitting on the toilet. And it was late at night. My eyes were starting to close. And I heard someone in the doorway. And it would have been, the sound came, and from the doorway to the toilet, it's only 4 feet, 5 feet, 4 feet. And I remember it. It was about 5 feet or so up on the doorway. I heard a, hey, just like that. It was a female voice. Hey, just like that. It reminded me of one of my daughters. So I know it was a female voice. I woke up and I just about, because the tub is right next to the toilet, I was 3/4 of the way off the toilet toward the tub, and I yelled, "What?" Like that. I'm surprised I didn't wake up my wife. I had one daughter downstairs. She was here visiting. And it wasn't her, because I got up and I went out in the hallway. There was no one there. Those are the 2 times. When I sit here by myself, a lot of times I'm on a computer, I will see movement out of the corner of my eye, and it's not my dog because my dog is dead. It's not my cat because she's outside. Sometimes she's in here, but she's outside most of the time. I will see movement coming up the stairs, like my wife coming up the stairs, or I will see just movement, shadows moving. And you look over there, there's nothing there. But you can see it out the corner of your eye. So I know that there are energies floating around, good and bad energies floating around, that are not quite discharged back into something that we can see, feel, or touch, but energies nonetheless, that are out there, good and bad. There are some energies that are just wandering around where they were when they were a child or grew up or whatever. There are evil energies that are trying to seduce you. There are energies that are just letting you know that they're there. That was that hey. Just an energy letting me know that they were there in the house with me. And they didn't want me falling asleep on the toilet. Thank you. And there was an energy that was trying to seduce me or have sex with me in bed. Succubus, incubus, I don't know which one that is, but you make up the terms. It was just an evil energy. Scared to, I mean, I was terrified. So, yeah, okay. That's enough about that, about religion. What else you want to talk about, man? It's enough about evolution, Big Bang Theory, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's all there. Just think about it. I have enough time now that I'm retired, and I just sit on the computer because I had that uh, fused ankle, so I was just sitting here for 6, 7 months, just thinking about shit. But that's where I found this community, and boy, am I happy I have. I've made some great friends here in this community, and not just acquaintances, but I mean real friends. I wanted one coin that was on a stage. It was, and this individual had. I mean, I really wanted it, and I was gonna bank or try and win it. And this individual texted me and said he would use, or she, I don't know, would use their two banks or a bank if I had one bank and they had another one, or they would use their two banks and I could pay them back at a later time, just so I could get that coin. I said no. I appreciated the offer. I'm very appreciative, and that shows me what kind of person they were. But I wasn't going to take advantage of them like that because I just it's 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 then I feel like I would be taking advantage of people. So I don't do that. I don't do that. But man, did I appreciate the offer, and that shows me what kind of person, what kind of an individual that person is to do that. And I made some really good friends. Kiwi, good friend. Anybody that will send you an ounce of silver, that will send you a Haley bug. Get my big fat finger out of the way. That will send a Haley bug. We'll send that to you from New Zealand because you mentioned a couple times that you like mushrooms and that's what you do. You hunt mushrooms, and that you're a mushroom inspector. That kind of person tells me that there are good, honest, decent people out there. And I consider Kiwi a friend. Man, I would like to go to New Zealand just to meet him. Maybe I will when I get enough money. And that person that offered the bank so they could get that coin, it tells me what kind of individuals they are. That I consider him a good friend. Never seen him, never met him personally. Just on the internet. You can find all kinds of crap on the internet if you want. Well, I'm telling you, there are really good people out there. Mrs. Coinker, I enjoy her when I go to the auctions, Coinker auctions. I enjoy her a lot, especially when she tickles Keith. And Lisa, I haven't met Lisa Anderson, but I have a feeling that she's a really good person. Space Miner, I have the same feeling about you. I haven't met you, haven't seen you, but just conversing with you on the internet, I feel that when I'm on panel sometimes, like on Brad V's open panel, I would like to see you guys come up sometime. If you have a channel, um, ask Brad V to send you a link. You could come up, then I can see you. Maybe you don't want to do that, and that's fine. I don't care what people know what I look like. I really don't care. I've got realistically, if not before then, I've got 20 more years to live. That's it, and I'm done. So what comes here in the next, whether it's a CBDC, whether it's going to be a one world government, because that's what it's headed toward, or it's going to be a violent revolution, civil war, blah, blah, blah. Don't know, don't care, because I won't have to live in it. I'll be dead. I won't see it. But it's the younger people, my children who are 30 and under, their children. I don't have any great grandchildren yet. Maybe someday, but I don't have any now. I don't think any of my daughters want children, and that's okay. I would rather not see children have to grow up in that environment. But maybe that's being selfish also. I would let's hit another topic, hot one. I'm not as selfish as to not want grandchildren growing up in that crap, but uh, all of the children that were aborted that didn't have to be, I wish they were still alive. But hey, there is a depopulation agenda in this world. If all those aborted children had been born and we actually needed taxpayers, blah, 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 or we need people to do the jobs, and that's why we're having so much illegal immigration allowed. If we didn't allow that immigration and those children had been born, the population would be the same, right? No, the population in the United States would be the same, but the population in the world is shrinking. If you listen to Peter Zeihan on the internet, and he has a channel, and everything in the world happening and everything going to happen all has to do with population demographics. And you will see that population in the world, that there is a depopulation agenda. And it's been in effect before World War II. And the founder of that way of thinking, a woman, was one of the founders of Nazism in the Nazi Party. You can go back and do your research. I've done a lot of research. I don't need to argue with anybody. Everybody thinks Ronald Reagan was such a great president, but Ronald Reagan was a good person. However, do you know that he actually legalized 10 million illegal immigrants that were in this country illegally? They were in this country illegally, couldn't get rid of them. So he thought the best thing to do was to make taxpayers out of them. So he legalized 10 million illegals that were in this country. And most of those were from Mexico, Central America. I don't mind people coming here to this country to better their life. I really don't. To work hard. I don't disagree with that at all. I wish the immigration policy would change so that decent people like that could be let into this country. We talk about immigration, and we do immigration like we did at the end of World War II. What we want are the intellectuals. We want the scientists. We want the thinkers, the people with a higher IQ, education, blah blah blah, to come to this country to better society and to help us evolve. Yeah, blah blah blah. But it needs to be changed so that decent, and I'm going to say God-fearing people, uh, law-abiding people can move to this country to better their lives. Just the people who want to work. Just the people who want to work and raise a family. Not an intellectual, not a scientist, not a inventor, but just the person who wants to operate the machine or dig the ditch or do the roofing to better their life in this country. I wish the immigration policy would change, but it hasn't. So as far as Biden letting all of the immigrants into this country now, he's doing the same thing that Reagan did. But what he's done by opening up the border is he's let enemies of this country in also. He's let the drug dealers. He's let the human traffickers. It pisses me off to no end, the human traffickers. Where do you think a lot of missing people in this country or in this world have gone? And we can't solve those cases. Human trafficking. All right. Well, where do those victims go to? I mean, they're not married off by some sheik in Saudi Arabia or Kuwait or wherever, because there's too many missing people to have done that. Where do they go? They're not being put to work in some gulag someplace or in a mine. We would know where those people went after a while. And my research, they're being sacrificed, human sacrifice. All right, let's go on. Immigration. We're letting in Chinese men have come across the border. Chinese men of military age, 30 on down, single, are being let into this country. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. But I always look to the bad side. They're here to wreak havoc in this country and to attempt to take over the Communist Party. Like I said before, the communists, the Islamists, and we've let a lot of them in this country. If you don't think so, go to Minneapolis and try to walk into some of those forbidden zones. Go ahead, man. Go try. And I'm sure there are other parts of the country that are like that also. Big cities will be the first to be taken over, then the suburbs, then the country. And one of the globalists, Bill Gates, he's one of those one world government people. Why has he become the biggest private owner of farmland in the United States? Why does China own so much real estate in the United States? In my mind, no foreign entity should own any land in our country at all, period. But we've done that. We've allowed that because they own so much of our debt. We got to repay them somehow. I don't think we have the gold to repay them. So we sold them real estate. So it keeps the dollar afloat. The dollar is junk. You know, you got to have some in your case, in your safe here, just in case of emergency nowadays. But I try to keep just as much in my savings account to cover any overdrafts I may have in my checking account. My checking account, all of my money is electronically deposited. That digital currency you were talking about, yeah. All of my deposits are electronic. My job, which was with the government, All right. I was a civil servant for 26 years. So I have a retirement there. I was in the Army for 20 years. So there's a retirement there. That's my beer money. And then we have my VA disability. And now I have Social Security on top of that. That all goes into my checking account. That's all electronic. That's all going to be part of the central bank digital currency, CBDC. You see how easy it's going to be to transition all of those electronic um, deposits over to a CBDC. And when I pay for stuff, what do I use? I use my debit card a lot. It comes right out of my checking account. It's all digital. I still use some cash. I still pay some bills by check. But I look for checking accounts to be done away with in the next 10 years. I don't believe there will be a checking account anymore. You won't have a checkbook. You can go to the bank and get cash yet, but I think that'll be done away with probably about the same time. So I'll just have an account at the Fed where I can use my card to buy and sell things. Because when I sell something, say I sell that guitar back there, and I get $100 for it. Well, somebody's going to transfer money from their account to my account. Boom, boom. Just like it's done now when I buy something online, say Amazon or any place. When I PayPal people for spots and races, or for, say, I buy a coin from somebody, let's say from SD Bullion, it's all my card, man. Let's see, they have to refund me money, like on PayPal. It's just I refund the money, digital. So when I sell something like that, they're going to charge me a sales tax on it, even though I'm not a business. Eventually, they're going to charge me a sales tax on everything. Every transaction will have a tax on it. Digital tax, you don't have to pay it. You'll see it in an online account statement, but I predict that in the next 10 years. That's what I predict. Everything will be a CBDC in the next 10 years. And Bitcoin and all of the meme coins and all of that crap will be done away with. What do you want to invest in then? Stock market? Nah. I'm sorry. If I'm investing in the stock market, I'm only going to invest in the companies that are going to make me money. What companies are those? Well, you got the top ones: Google, Amazon. What's the other one? Whatever. There are some miners, major miners that I invest in. I quit investing in minor miners, major miners. Assets. You want to invest in assets. Okay, you can invest in art, and I'm thinking about doing that because I've invested in metals. I can do that. I've done that. Art, I'm thinking about. Guns, I have. Ammunition, I have. Reloading equipment. Spare parts, I have. Assets. Assets. You want assets. Assets that are going to be worth money. Platinum, I have some of that. I'm going to get some osmium. Space miner. I'm going to get some osmium. And I am going to invest in some art. I have a Rolex, not this one. This is an old cheap Timex. Assets, things that are worth money, things that are going to make money. Assets. The rich people in the world don't have money. They don't have a pile of cash sitting around. Their cash is all digital. Their cash is in an account. It's digital. They don't see cash. They don't have a pile of cash. But they have assets. to have assets. They invest their money in assets, different assets that make or lose money. And they play with that. They play with that, making or losing money. That's how they make money. Very seldom do they lose money. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But they make money. And they make it with assets. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin. Can you make money with Bitcoin? Yes, you can right now. But what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a digital promise, just like a dollar bill. It's a paper promise to pay you so much because you hold that note. It's a debt instrument. That's what it is. It's a debt instrument. Okay. So that's what Bitcoin is. It's an electronic dollar bill. You own an electronic Bitcoin or portion of one. It's just a promise to pay you back. Do I think Bitcoin's going to go away? I do. And why do I do that? Because I think the world is going to go to a CBDC. I think the United States will go to a CBDC. And do you think the United States government or the world government, any government in the world right now, wants competition for their digital currency? No. They're allowing it right now because they're trying to regulate it out of existence when they go to a CBDC. I see the chat has stopped, so maybe I'm going to have to end this. We're already at about 3 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes. So I've made my views known. If you want to debate, we sure can do that. But I had a really wise teacher in high school. I didn't listen to a lot of my teachers in high school. I listened to my shop teachers, my mechanics, metals, wood shop. I didn't do chemistry or any of that crap. Wasn't interested. I was interested in literature because I like to read. And Miss Crutchfield was one of my favorite teachers. But Mr. Newhorner was explaining the Big Bang Theory, and as opposed to the biblical description of how the earth was created or how the universe was created in 7 days. And he said to me, why can't, because we think of time in second, minute, hour, 24-hour time period because of our revolution around the sun and the moon and blah, blah, blah. Daylight, we think of it in 24-hour time period. So we think that when the Bible says God created the earth in 7 days, we're thinking of it in 24-hour days, 7 days a week. No. He said, time is just a construct. That's all it is. Time means nothing. There's no such thing as time. That's a human construct. Okay. When God created the earth in 7 time periods, because what is an hour is nothing more than just a period of time. That's all it is. A year is just a month, just a period of time. And we want to go epochs and millenniums and blah, blah, blah. Periods of time. That's all they are. Okay. So God created the earth in 7 periods of time. That first period of time when God created light took how long? 1 million years? 24 hours? 20 billion trillion years? Yes, it's the same thing. It's a period of time. The Bible is not, you don't take it literally. The Bible you take, because all the stories, everything in the Bible is allegorical. You have to read between the lines. You have to read deeper. The Bible is a book about creation and how it came about. But how does anybody know that to write it down? They don't. That's just their thoughts on how it was created. That's all it is. That's all that is. Until such time, until they're born and they're conscious enough and educated enough to start writing stuff down. All right. So the Old Testament is all about something they know nothing about. It may have been written down, Dead Sea Scroll wise, from the earliest of man, from the time they could start putting stuff down on paper, from the time they could start writing. The New Testament, from Jesus on, is actual stories about Jesus, actual stories about a man who lived, who was a good man, no doubt. Was he the son of a God? Man, it's a hard one for me to believe. Could have been. Don't know. But he was a man. He was a wise man. He was a man who studied Buddhism, Confucianism, because there were how many years? 8 years he was gone as a young adult. Don't know where he was. I don't know how many years it was, but he was gone. He was studying other cultures, other religions. He was studying. And he came back. And he told us about that. I don't know. I think Jesus was a man, a human being, a good man, man that wanted to better the human race. But I don't think he was the son of a god. Just I don't know. That's my opinion. But could have been. I'm not going to discount that possibility. So as far as being a spiritual man, yeah, I'm spiritual, but I'm not a Catholic. I'm not a. I think all religions on earth are nothing but a control mechanism, and some of the control is good because there has to be laws and rules that we live by as a decent people. But and to punish the evil people that do wrong. I mean, there have to be rules. So religion played an integral part of that. But what was the first religions on earth? Oh man, Zoroastrianism was the first religion, and then Confucianism, Buddhism, then Judaism. And I like to think, I like to read where the Jewish people came from. And I think what I read is that the Jewish people came from parts of Asia that are now Russia. What do they call them? Something Jews, and migrated down and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, and the rules of the Old Testament are rules that they live by, you know. When the human race got together and started building communities, when you start building communities, you have to live by certain rules. And so religion played an important role in that. But it's a method of control. And so we've evolved to the point where we have governments now, and we make laws, or that make laws that we have to live by. Those laws are supposed to be based on those Old Testament rules. But they've been bastardized to the point where they actually mean nothing anymore. There are laws on the books that are wrong. They're not correct, don't need to be followed. I don't think. I mean, you're going to get fined, you're going to get ticketed, you have to go to court for laws that you don't think are morally correct, right? There are laws on the books that I won't follow. Seatbelt laws. I'm not following a seatbelt law. I don't care what you say about safety. I don't give a shit. That law was passed by the insurance industry, pressuring the United States Congress to pass it. The United States Congress passed that law and then said to the states, you're going to have to pass that law, otherwise you're not going to get federal highway funds. So every state passed that law. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be told what to do, what decision I can make by an insurance company. Fuck them. I'm not doing it. As you can tell, I just got picked up for a goddamn seatbelt violation. I'm pulling into a hardware store in a little town, and the highway patrol officer pulled me over in the parking lot and gave me a ticket. Now, every officer has some professional discretion as far as some of those laws go. I understand. You know, some of the felonies, you're getting arrested. Boom, that's it. You're done. But for laws like seatbelts or going 2 or 3 miles over the speed limit, there's another one that bites my ass. Why do we have a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit? Why is that the standard? When during my youth it was 65 and 70. You go 70 during the day, 65 at night. Why? They changed that law in the 70s when we had the oil embargoes and gas was shorted in the gas shortage. They thought it was going to save gas by lowering the speed limit. All right. So we became an oil independent nation. We were actually a net exporter of oil, but the fucking speed limit stayed the same. Why? So if I'm going 2 or 3 miles over speed limit, I drive 63, 4 now. I don't drive 55. I get picked up for a speed violation. That officer has professional discretion to give me a warning. I was coming home from a concert. I was doing 64. I got picked up by a Howard County sheriff's deputy. He asked me what I'm doing, where it's going, where from, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, he said, you're going a little fast. I said, yeah, I know. I had the cruise control set. And he said, well, where were you at? And I told him I was at a concert over Clear Lake. So I was halfway home. And he said, all right, well, just slow it down. All right. But I get picked up going into Osage. I'm going 65. I got picked up by a Mitchell County Sheriff's deputy. Oh, I'm going 65. Going to have to fucking write you a ticket or arrest you or whatever the fuck it was. He has professional discretion. He could have gave me a warning, but he didn't. He gave me a ticket. Stupid ass. And this highway patrolman could have said, okay, next time put your seatbelt on. When you leave the parking lot, I want to see your seatbelt on. Okay. I would have done it until I got 3 miles out of town and would take the fucker off. Sorry, I'm getting wound up. Starting to use cuss words. Anyway, so I got a $135 ticket. So $135, which I can't afford, to give to the state of Iowa because they need more money. Not like I don't pay enough taxes. All right. So that's that little rant. I don't know where I started that rant. Or what started it? Religion? Yeah, rules of religions, laws. There we go. That's where I remember I started this thing. Yep. Religion has turned into a control, is a control, um, and some of it is good. But if you, and when was Islam, when did Islam come into existence? It was after Christianity, about 500 years after Christianity was invented, quote unquote. Uh, I think Muhammad saw an opportunity to control people. And so he became the Jesus of the Muslims. He did all these fantastic things, and he went out and saw Allah and blah, blah, blah. God, Allah, the universe, the big spirit in the sky, Confucius, Buddha, they're all the same thing. Call them what you will. It's all the same thing. It's the big battery in the sky. It's that gigantic intelligence that created this mathematically perfect universe. That's God. That's Allah. That's Buddha. That's Confucius. That's Jesus Christ. That's whoever you want to call him. In my mind, there is no name for that. Nobody's watching anymore. Chat's dead. It's been about 3 hours. So, I think about the larger things. I think about the smaller things. And the smaller things, the injustices I try to fight against, like the seatbelt law. I went to court, I pled not guilty. Why? Because the officer made a mistake on my ticket. She said my vehicle was a Ford F-15. It's not. It's a Ford F-150. I wasn't driving a Ford F-15. Don't own one, never had one. The judge looked at me and said, I don't believe anybody owns a Ford F-15. I said, you're right, Your Honor. I don't know how many people own one, but I don't. And he said, well, enough talk about that. How do you plead? I said, not guilty. So he scheduled me for trial. Am I going to go to trial and waste some more time? No. So I called up the clerk. I said, I want to plead guilty to the ticket. She said, well, you already pled not guilty, so you're going to have to write a letter. So I wrote a little note, said I changed my mind, I'm pleading not guilty to this ticket, and gave the violation number. All right, why do they do all of that? Because they're getting $135 and something from me for the goddamn ticket that don't mean shit. I'm costing them money to do what they're doing. The paperwork, the computer, sending out the notices. They have to send me 2 notices now. The mailing, all that stuff costs some money. So what I'm trying to do is to even the score. I'm trying to get my $135 worth out of the state. That's what I'm doing. Trying to make it even. So I know the judge in this case, he doesn't like me. I've been before him before. He doesn't like me. So he's going to call me guilty. Okay, your fine is still this. Boom, get out of here. So I've taken up time. I've made them expend resources. I want them to take up as much time and expend as much resources as it costs me in a ticket. That's what I want, right there. That's why I'm doing it. So piss on them. We'll go into another thing sometime, but we're not going to do it now. I'm going to quit this one here at 3 hours. Chat's been dead for an hour, so I'm going to leave it at that. But all I can say is if you're going to invest in something, invest in assets, physical assets. I wouldn't invest in digital assets. I'm not going to. Keep your money out of the bank. I have money here. I have money stashed out in the other safe with the coins. Don't sweat the small stuff. I mean, Think about it. Think about the small stuff, but think about the larger stuff too. Think about the universe. Think about God. Think about creation. Think about evolution. Think about religion. Think about control. Think about the World Economic Forum, uh, the big technocratic system that we have here in the United States now. Think about communism. Think about radical Islam. They want a caliphate, a worldwide caliphate. Communism wants worldwide communism. The technocrats want worldwide technocratic, and they're all fighting. They're all fighting for control. And you see that now with Chinese young men being allowed into the United States over the border. There have been Saudi terrorists, or not Saudi, but Islamic terrorists coming over the border. Drug dealers trying to take advantage of that. The human sacrifice people trying to take advantage of that. Think about all the larger things and the implications for your children and grandchildren. Think about all that stuff. All right, I'm out. Remember, live free or die. And if it comes to you, make sure you're ready. See you later. Bye. Fuck it.